How's it going, guys and gals? This is Advanced Warrior here, and welcome back to another Advanced Wars by Web replay commentary. Still going strong with those weekly replays, and still moving on with my Global League run. Unfortunately, we don't have two, but I do have Global League game number 4. And I do first off want to apologize for all this dead space that you see here. The map that I played on was Portrait. You know, it was on the sides, it was longer than the top and bottom sides. That's a landscape. On more landscape maps, I can give it less dead space, I guess you could say, because like if you see my mouse, you can see all this on the left and a little bit on the right. I really don't know what I could be putting in on the side, but I'm just gonna keep this all in as it is. If I have anything for this replay viewer, honestly, I think maybe this bottom thing could maybe be on the side. I think that would be pretty cool to see, so we could utilize the whole free space that we have here. Yeah, this is the way I adjusted the map, and I hope it's good enough for you guys to see, especially if you're watching on your phone. But yeah, let's get straight into my Global League game where we talk about the CO. Just the one CO. Drake. I think I did play Drake in my last replay. It was a collaboration with Master Kambi, multi-topic talk, but I'm not sure if I got the chance to properly explain Drake. Now, Drake's day-to-day is that his naval units gain +1 movement and have +25% defense. For naval maps, obviously, that's pretty good, having a consistent +1 move and being sturdy. The drawback is that his air units are kind of bad with -20% attack. You can only bring it to -10% attack with the comm tower, which I do think is enough for a battlecopter and a tank to fully kill a tank. Could be right, could be wrong. He also has the nice added bonus of all of his units being unaffected by rain, excluding the sight, however. So if you use his power that gives him rain, he will lose that vision. For random weather games, he does have a higher chance to bring rain, but there's no random weather in Global League, because obviously you want to minimize the randomness in a skill-based game. So now you're thinking, on a map with no naval units, there's not even ports for you to build a battleship or anything with vision. Why would you play Drake? Drake's the real reason Drake is kind of strong in his tier is his day-to-day, and that day-to-day is it doesn't even show up here. His day-to-day is Tsunami and Typhoon. Tsunami deals 1 damage to all enemy units and drains their fuel by half, which is pretty nice for bigger maps, as you can say. Like, global damage on bigger maps is already good considering the number of units that you can hit with global damage, but because the maps are so big, they have to use up so much fuel, and if your opponent is not using an APC or keeping their fuel in check, not resupplying them on cities, it will cause some slight problems. Maybe they will have a little bit of fuel but won't have the maximum movement. Some could just probably sit there and end up dying because of the fuel, although it's not too hard to run out of fuel, especially if you're playing against a Drake. Typhoon, however, is his better day-to-day. Does the same thing, but also deals 2 damage instead of 1. Did I say 2 damage for Tsunami? 1 damage for Tsunami, 2 damage for Typhoon. Like I said, global damage is really good. It's why Olaf and Hawk are considered good COs in this game. It also does give the fuel reduction, and it also makes it rain. When you make it rain, the other COs will have a harder time traversing through certain terrain, such as the plains, the woods. Not so much with urban terrain like roads, properties, missile silos, I guess. It's not as strong as Winter Fury Snow, but it's still a nice little movement reduction. But however, like we said earlier, if you use it, you're losing vision. So if you're popping Typhoon in Fog of War, make sure that you will get the vision to see what you want to attack, because you have to see something to attack it in Fog of War. However, it is not as impressive against in a mirror match, obviously, because they both won't get the movement reduction. They just have equally bad air units, and the movement is just okay. The rain does cut the vision though, so you can maybe play against that, but it's mainly the global damage that makes Drake really good in a tier 3 CO matchup. Okay, so the map here is called Assassins. Each of the base sides are blocked off by rivers. You have to go around with the bridges, and there's a little shoal bridge over here as well. And the big thing is this tank right here. This tank can barely see one of your bases unless you're Sonja, unless you can actually see them. So it's like kind of in this little corner thing here. So why is this tank annoying? Well, it can break free if you damage the pipe seam enough. I believe the pipe seam's durability is the same as a Neo tank with 0 terrain stars. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the durability of a pipe seam. So we'll take a couple hits for it to break through, but this tank has an impressive 3 vision and is really annoying when you want to cross the river to try to get these properties. So you might want to kill it eventually, because if it's not the vision that's gonna get you, then this free tank will just blast through a pipe seam and start harassing all your infantry. So you might want to maybe get an artillery. I prefer artilleries over a mech because you can use them later. Mechs, they have 0 defense on rivers, so the counterattack may not be strong. So because it's on a city, you might think that you might want to play Kindle, but Kindle was actually banned on this map for tier 3 games for obvious reasons. The second close one is Lash. Lash could maybe use a nice attack boost, 30% attack, to attack this pipe seam even more, but I've seen Lash's win rate not so impressive on this map. I think I said the map's called Assassins, by the way, if I didn't say it. But yeah, you definitely want to have something to respond for this tank, because not only that, you also get a property to capture. Something about Lash. Oh yeah, a competent player will know to kill your tank before it can actually break free. And obviously if you damage it, then it'll do less damage to the pipe seam, giving you much more time to cut it off. Here you see that the black boats are covering the HQs. The 3 base sides are almost in the corners. Comm towers, not too contestable. Alright, so without further ado, let's begin. I am player 2, by the way. So my opponent, actually, what am I saying? Nothing too impressive. Just infantry being built, and my free infantry is obviously going to go straight for that base. He's going to have to use that infantry to get his base, while I do get a free one. And I want to get the more dangerous or more contested properties, so I do choose to allow my infantry to be revealed. It can reach this the city here, but I expected my opponent would probably do the same thing anyways. It's not like I can do something, he sees it, and then they're just gonna copy me. No, I'm pretty sure, yeah, like I said, he's crossing the river, can immediately get one of the cities closer in the towards the middle. So I go for it, and I move another infantry again, and I have this infantry just capture the nearest properties just for that immediate value. Because obviously getting a tank out as soon as you can is really nice, unless you're going for transports. And here he built his artillery, and like I said, the vision of these tanks are barely outside of the base. Yeah, the vision of the tank is barely outside the base. Although he built an artillery, I don't agree where he built it, unless this infantry is going to cut through the middle, but it has to slog through more river tiles, and it's just really hard. An artillery built on the top, and an infantry built from the more forward base, I prefer, because it can just cross the river and start getting the middle, more contested properties. Alright, so I finally captured my bottom base. I'm moving my infantry forward, crossing terrain, and here you see I have my artillery in the back, so this infantry is more forward for captures. If you built an artillery back here, I don't think it'll reach it. I don't think it'll reach in one turn to start hitting the tank. And as you can see, we have been attacking these tanks down to 34 HP. What did I just see? Move. Alright, and here's another thing. So my opponent puts his artillery in the forest, which actually did surprise me because I was watching the replays and I didn't see the artillery for some reason. I don't know, maybe I was just probably clicking too fast, but the artillery in the forest, yeah, sure, it's hidden and obviously caught me off guard because I didn't expect it. However, I prefer it to be moved back just a bit, like let it be seen. You'll know if it gets shot, you know it's there anyways from the forest tile, but keeping it back just a little bit will give you an extra tile for you to move ahead, because you put it here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to reach that city. I forgot an artillery's move, but here, up here, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and clearly it's showing you that you do get to move your artillery out further if you have it back and revealed shooting that tank. Alright, so we're starting to see some presence in the middle a little bit. Pretty sure you'll begin to see mine as well. Buys all infantry. And yeah, as you can see, I'm starting to capture the left more properties. Something I do want to bring up in this game is something I'd like to call frontline awareness. And that is, oh, and I do build a recon to like go see my weak side. As I mentioned, what I call frontline awareness. So you see all these properties in the middle, and you'd think that, okay, maybe you want to try to contest, try to capture most of these properties so you can get the lead. That is not how the map is divided. The map is actually divided from between the HQs. So you need to be aware of where you can go and where you cannot reach. As same thing with your opponents, but mirrored. So my opponent has a better chance to maybe get these properties, while I have a better chance to get these properties up here because the bases are further back. My bases are closer to the left, so instead of just cutting it straight in the middle, I'm doing a diagonal divide here. So I will try to get maybe these properties and try to defend these properties but not capture them because my bases are much further away to even try to get those. Which is why I built a recon, just so I could get intel on how far my opponent has progressed on the right side. So yeah, the artillery comes, swing down, dies in 2 hits, but like I said, did surprise me just a little bit when I took damage, because I thought I didn't see an artillery. Unfortunately, I missed it, and it kind of shook my mentality just a little bit. Alright, and my opponent gets his first tank. Another thing, I don't think this artillery's vision is that good. Yeah, it's only 1 tile. So you gotta make sure that you have an infantry nearby to grant vision on this tank, so you can start capturing that property. Which is what me and my opponent both did successfully, keeping vision on the tank while my artillery fires away. And when you kill the... yeah, like it was gone for a bit, but when you kill the tank, your infantry can immediately move in and start capturing. And here I do decide to build my tank on the very left side because I don't know if it goes out further, but I want my infantry to keep crossing this river to keep going strong on the left side. So yeah, my opponent finishes off my tank, starts capturing that city. Already has their comm tower. I already had my comm tower too. I captured my comm tower just so I could get that little boost to attack that tank. Starting to get their bottom properties. Oh, my opponent's like all the way out here already. Guess I wasn't paying attention. And they build a tank on their leftmost base, a little bit closer to their weak side. I don't agree wholeheartedly. I'd like to have at least 2 or 3 tanks at least cover each other, so you can punish any counterattacks that your opponent may try to do. And here, these 2 properties in the middle I felt were the most risky, so I wasn't expecting to get this city. Don't even remember if I do get it this turn, but I just have, I have a bunch of infantry that are ready to attack and maybe move on to capture. I'm not getting the airport yet. Why would you? You normally don't want to build that many battlecopters as Drake or early battlecopters. Maybe it could to catch him off guard, but personally, the battlecopters are already weak, so they're not a huge priority for me personally. And I built a recon on for my left front. Alright. So my opponent here is trying to capture my property. Wonder if it surprised him a little bit to see that I already had that captured. And it's just very standard forward movement. Let's see where this this artillery is moving back and moving towards the left. Maybe it's for their weak side, or maybe they want to blast. Why am I saying baby so much? Perhaps they would like to blast open this pipe seam, which does help get the weak side base to reinforce towards the center a bit sooner. And 2 artillery. And a tank to go to the right a bit later than what I would have preferred, but they at least have tanks on both front. So I captured this property, felt very nice, and I used my recon here to scout out this infantry, and it also scouts out this one. I could already see that one anyways, but yeah, I see the middle, and I'm pretty sure I didn't see anything go in the forest, so I get the first strike on the better terrain, and to my surprise, this killed. I think it had to be a luck roll for me to kill this. 110% attack is not enough for 2 infantry to get 2 low rolls and kill it, so one of them was definitely a high roll. And instead of attacking with this infantry and to begin and use this infantry to capture that city, I use the back infantry to interrupt the capture. I use it to interrupt the capture. I want to hold the property at least. So my tank moves up on a very nice 3 terrain star empty missile silo. And here I'm just moving a good portion of my units towards the left while having a little skeleton crew on the right. And what is this? Tank, infantry. Again, like a base that's like near rivers. I really like to have infantry there because obviously they're the only ones that can cross that terrain, not vehicles. So my opponent goes for a counterattack instead of attacking. I think I maybe would have liked to see it retreat, but it would have been really hard for that infantry to survive. Tries to first strike my infantry on the city. Does drain some of my income, but I will be able to heal back to greater HP and then start getting that better counterattack. Alright, moving out his tanks on the right. Most of his artillery are on the left, and he builds an anti-air. I think the same time he captures the airport, the anti-air don't always not expect air units from Drake. Battlecopters are really good for their mobility and for their defense against machine guns, which is why the attack reduction from Drake's copters air units isn't so bad, because they're still just as sturdy. They can still move over terrain just as fine. And I don't know, with or without a comm tower, battlecopter gets really good valuable attacks against tanks and allows other tanks to finish it off. Here I go for a really risky capture on this city, and maybe to see how far they've gone. I haven't seen anything to my surprise, but I had a feeling eventually something would come in to interrupt that cap. I still went for it anyways, because if it's not there, then hooray. Alright, so I instead move my infantry off the city and attack from the city, so I get the best type of defense. And here I do a little bit of a cutoff, just in case I don't get attacked from 2 sides, where it heavily damages my tank, and this tank comes up to cover my first tank. Moving forward, and I have enough for a medium tank, and I decided to have it on my weak side. It's a bit slower, gonna have to slug through this forest tile, but assuming that my opponent has multiple tanks on the right side, those tanks by themselves cannot do very well against an artillery. Against a medium tank. I was thinking maybe an artillery, but you usually have your artillery on the opposite side of your weak side, so it'll get closer to the front lines if you just keep sending it on the closer side. Okay, so my opponent reveals my infantry and interrupts the capture. Wait, what did I just see? This infantry... It might have gotten trapped. No, it couldn't have gotten trapped. I guess we'll see. Alright, so they're pulling back. Obviously they have to have seen my tank attacking their infantry. Alright. So yeah, just moving forward, and has the anti-air go the opposite direction of where my airport is. I usually like to send my anti-airs towards my opponent's airport, because if they did try to go to the other front, it would take them way too long for that, and most likely my anti-air would probably be in a position to cover all my units. So I captured both of these properties here, and I'm feeling very, very confident. Yeah, because the split, if you did a split, for it to be even at least one of these properties for each side, but considering I got that luck roll and I got 2 properties, I felt very comfortable with my income. I'm like, okay, I have to hold this, maybe capture this, maybe leave that neutral. Unfortunately, I don't see what's over here yet, and I don't think I will. Oh no, I do see it. And I use my recon to interrupt that capture, and it's on a nice missile tile, so it's going to be hard for it to get killed. And yeah, here I have my tank coming in that can cover both my first tank and my recon. Recon's just moving up for vision, move up on the mountains, and yeah, wall off a little bit on the left side. And yeah, just move my tank forward. A very open wall, I would say. Yeah, open on... No, never mind. I'm sorry, I'm confusing myself. Anti-air, tank, infantry. So yeah, this is a little weird wall. I don't see anything that could reach my artillery, so sure. It's not covering my recon, however. But if this tank ever goes hella aggressive on this tank, the artillery does cover that on the right side. If this infantry dies and my opponent attacks my tank from the left, that artillery does cover it. I didn't have a good place to put my artillery, but so I just thought, okay, unlike very aggressive attacks from my opponent trying to first strike my tanks, I have some counterplay. Not good enough though. Alright, so my opponent gets a strike on my recon. Not so scary considering recon, an alive recon still has the vision, so it's really nice. Alright, and so my opponent finally breaks through, so I have to be wary of a possible flood of units coming from the middle when I have left mine alone and decided to use my units for other purposes. Alright, so tank recon, I can't complain about this. Tanks are obviously a staple. Recon on the right side, because they already have a recon on the left side. A little blind on the bottom, I would say. Alright, so day 11. So I capture the cities I can. Stop the cap entirely. Begin to capture it myself. Recon hides in the forest. The tank moves in. Boom. 7 damage off just like that. And I just move my infantry up. Tried to cover the most sides I could to maintain that capture. Medium tank is coming up out of sight of that first tank though, so they don't know I have it there. Anti-air is moving up, and here I was sort of regretting this attack because I didn't expect two artilleries to just show up like that. But I already committed, still had to move on, get a really nice first strike on that other tank, which was revealed by my first tank. And yeah, I'm stopping the cap, And yeah, I don't get the full clear, sadly. But I have very strong first strikes up here, but I was worried of possible counterattacks because, like I said, this pipe seam was broken. I didn't notice it until after I made the move, though. Alright, so just getting all the nice first strikes, protecting my properties, finally build my battlecopter. Again, the machine gun defense, the mobility, it's not too detrimental. And here this isn't a great wall for protection. Never build a wall like this. But if my opponent doesn't have anything to push through, then all my units are covered, basically. Yeah, it's like I wanted the artillery to kill the tank, but after that I almost felt like I didn't know what to do with it. So I was expecting to maybe lose this recon, so I built another recon. Alright, so artillery gets a really nice strike, and they stay where they are. I guess they remain hidden, but my tank is still open to attack. Recon on recon, ooh, that's an attack you normally don't want to do. They do at least get my vision though, so it's not the most horrible thing to happen. Kill one of my infantry in the middle. Tanks and vehicles are moving down on the right side, getting those nice first strikes. So yeah, I did use they use their anti-air to kill one of my infantry. Usually I do want to keep it hidden, but another thing is it's also what I consider on the wrong side, or the side where my air units are less likely to traverse to. But they do at least move it further, and they do have a tank to cover it. This one sort of, unless I attack up here, but all his units are just close enough to cover each other. And yeah, here he finally builds his battlecopter. Tank, infantry, pulls the infantry back, and doesn't interrupt my cap, so I will get this city by my HQ after I decide to chuck my artillery at the tank. I think I do eventually kill that recon, because getting rid of your opponent's vision is really nice. I use my black boat to repair my tank back to full, so it was a nice little mini base. A nice little mini base to get some chip damage off your units and then just fully heal them. Battlecopter moves very close to the edge of the rest of my units. This infantry's on a city, so it's very hard to kill. These tanks are also very hard to kill. It's hard to go around, so my battlecopter is safe. My anti-air is beginning to move up on the left side, as well as the rest of my units. Finish off that tank with the infantry, so I don't kill the recon. I do have a lot of units posturing on cities to protect my properties, preventing any captures. Triple tank. I really didn't want to build that many battlecopters as Dreadnought, did I? I guess it was because I had one tank up here, and I had my other tank here, so this tank was basically alone, just surrounded by a bunch of infantry. So that might have been why I built triple tank. Doesn't kill my tank, has the artillery in position to cover those tanks. Recon gets a strike on my artillery. Anti-air just being used to attack infantry. I personally would have liked to maybe see better valuable kills. Alright, the tank moving a little bit to the left. Battlecopter moves in. Alright, now I see that his battlecopter is there. Probably going to keep it busy just a bit until my anti-air can come in. Artillery, recon, tank from my opponents. And this infantry was left untouched, so I do get to capture that property. I am currently 4 income ahead of my opponent, and I just noticed that we are very, very close to our super. So at this point I was kind of just doing like chip damage. Here I get the one shot. what I really wanted to happen was somehow get Typhoon to come out and start attacking, but I really didn't know what to attack with, because obviously some things are easier to kill at 8 HP. But if I use up an attack, then that means I won't get the +2 bonus damage. So I was having a slightly difficult time managing to increase my power meter and then knowing how to follow it up with it. But I attacked the artillery, get the Typhoon out, and my last attack was against this artillery. It is at 1 HP, so it can't do much. And I increase, what was the unit value? Went from 94,200 Typhoon animation. That's so cool. Drop down to 71,500. So almost 20,000 in income just dropped like that. And I have to maintain that because obviously I'm about to get hit with a Typhoon as well. And here I use my anti-air to kill the recon. It kills the vision. His vision is still down just a bit. Maybe this anti-air might see. Oh no, it doesn't see. Surprisingly, but the battlecopter is weakened at 8 HP, and it's going to do significantly less damage stacked up with the attack reduction. And I build another one because I'm like, okay, this one's probably going to get injured or probably going to die. But I'm not so scared of this battlecopter. These are practically dead, so I think now I just need to pull back just a little bit. I think I did pull back this turn. Pull back some of my units because I got the property. I have to bail. Here on the right side, just balling up my units. Very hard to get through this, but I'm about to get hit with a Typhoon of his own. Yeah, look at that. Tries to shoot my medium tank for some reason with the artillery. Hold on. What did he just do? Okay. Has the artillery attacking the 1 HP tank. I don't really see why that was such a great idea. And yeah, he's just trying to kill everything that he sees. Artillery has the plus 10% defense, so I'm glad that survived miraculously. And he's trying to go for a cheeky, back capture, but it's not going to do so much. The vision actually... No, not the vision. Yeah, my opponent wouldn't have had the vision. They get trapped down here, sadly for them. But yeah, they're just walking into all these units that have so much counterplay. Recon sitting on the comm tower just for the vision. It's not gonna die. It's not gonna repair. Oh, and they used the black bow to boost up their battlecopter to 1 HP, which was alright. Alright, let's see here. So I do see the infantry with my tank, so I use one of my infantry to kill it. And yeah, I just like pull my units back for repairs. Yeah, that tank could not have attacked that, could not have attacked that anti-air. Yeah, the vision reduction forced me to move this infantry up to reveal that tank for me to get that first strike. And here I get a little bit of vision, nice intel, a damaged infantry, cannot capture this property in 2 turns. I see that he repaired with his battlecopter, and I see that 7 HP tank. But if that 7 HP tank tries to move in, I have 2 other tanks that will counterattack it. Here I see that nothing went into the forest, and I failed to kill that. Hold on. Okay, so they did have a defense boost and an attack boost, so it was just really almost funny to see this. Alright, and I kill the infantry on the city, use my infantry to kill the artillery. I don't see that recon though. But yeah, I just decided to pull back. Definitely should have had a better attack order on the right side with that 1 lone infantry. But that global damage really did hamper my attacks, because obviously weaker weaker units do less damage. Alright, starts to capture the property. It's not gonna happen. Oh, I'm sorry, not 2 other tanks to cover my 1 tank. I got 3 tanks to cover, actually. Artillery moves up, does cover that tank. Recon comes in out of hiding, starts damaging some of my units, building up a little death ball on the right side. Unfortunately, this artillery does not cover this recon, so I will be killing that recon off if I wanted to blind him from vision. And 2 more artilleries. My opponent really loves artillery. 19,000. I maybe would have liked to see a medium tank. Yeah, because having just like a giant wall of artillery, that's usually not the meta. Alright, so my tank comes in, and I wanted to kill that vision, but I do manage it. It just took up 2 units. I am inside this artillery's range, however, but I do kill off that anti-air. Not kill off, but damage it, so now I have 1 less anti-air to worry about for my air units. Get all that vision. Only time I would do recon on recon attacks is to kill one. If I could kill one with a recon, I will do it. So yeah, I have 2 anti-airs here, so I was okay with using one of them to, what did I attack? To kill the anti-air. And I just get a little bit of chip damage with the infantry, wall off my anti-air, just for a little bit protection. Recon's moving in for possibly added vision. Tanks are moving out, recon moves in the middle. And here, another nice aspect about air units is that if there's an artillery covering them, the artillery cannot attack the battlecopter. So here I have 2 battlecopters in range of the artillery, but they're untargetable. So yeah, I do put my tank on my opponent's city. It's on good terrain, and these 2 shoal tiles are really bad to attack from when I have that much better terrain. I do build another medium tank, finish it off with 2 infantry. Artillery gets the hit, battlecopter comes in, and the tank doesn't deal enough damage. This anti-air has a really good chance to one-shot that copter, and my opponent resigns. 19 to 32 units there, almost 50,000 behind in income. So to pull from this game, I think my opponent may have built way too many anti-airs. Probably would have liked to see some tech up options. Wait, did I say anti-air? I'm doing it again. I mixed up artillery with anti-air. I saw way too many artillery from my opponent's side. I would have at least liked to see a medium tank. A medium tank on this side is actually on the left side for my opponent would be pretty good because I don't have any artillery, and this medium tank only has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. It has to slog through 2 or 3 turns just to get to that side. None of my battlecopters are there. My battlecopters are on the right side, and yeah, all my good units to attack a medium tank are on the right side. So a medium tank on their left side instead of so many artillery would have given them a better chance. Let's look at the stats real quickly. Open stats. So I built 175,000. I lost 86,400. So it's about 13, 14, 15 deaths, I believe. But I also got 25 kills. Yeah, I got 25 kills and 15 deaths. So 10 units overall, basically. Almost like over 100,000 in damage, actually. Let's go see my opponent's stats. Yeah, they produced... Yeah, they had more deaths than kills. So, Yeah, if you look at the stats in the middle of the game, it gives you a good indication of the unit count and how many and how far you are from winning or losing. It's something that I use. It also shows you the value as well. You could have more deaths by units, but your kills could probably be more valuable than the deaths, and I have seen that happen. But nice try from my opponent. Just I would consider minor mistakes. I didn't really see anything too wrong other than the multiple artillery. Teching up is really good. Probably tech ups. Yeah, I could probably talk about tech ups for the title of this for the title of this video. I don't know, but yeah, these two artilleries. I would have liked to maybe see a tank. Double artillery almost felt weird. I actually could have been wrong about that, actually. They had 19,000. Yeah, I would like to see a medium tank. Doesn't hurt to have an extra 1,000. But yeah, I guess that's all I could say for my opponent. Use your tech up units and know how to use those tech up units. Like I said, I put a medium tank on my right side, my weak side, and other than artillery, there are no other tanks that could really contest it, and it was being supported by battlecopters and eventually other units. Alright, guys and gals, that is it for my 4th Global League game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video. Thank you guys so much for helping me hit 200 subscribers before the end of the year. We're like about halfway in the year and I got 200 subscribers. My original goal was 200 before the end of the year, and we're already here and we're about halfway in the year. So again, I really do appreciate you guys for hitting the subscribe button, for liking my videos, for watching my videos. I will continue to keep doing this because I do personally enjoy this. Advance Wars is my childhood game, and I'm so glad that I'm able to make videos off of multiplayer games, which I never had in my childhood. Advance Wars by Web was a fantastic discovery for me, and bringing my YouTube channel into Advance Wars by Web content has really boosted me. Clearly, I started this channel in 2015. And I was doing like regular Let's Plays, and then Advance Wars by Web was discovered, making Advance Wars by Web videos, reaching out to the community, and my subscriber numbers just increased dramatically. So again, thank you all so much for the support. Thank you guys for watching. All of you have my warmest regards. Please take care.